To today's Israel versus Hamas update. In today's video, we'll be discussing the Israeli invasion of Rafah. So just to give you guys some background on this, if you guys don't know, on October 7th, Hamas did a very brutal and heinous attack on Israel. It was an invasion of Israel where they killed over 700 plus civilians, and also I believe the number was around 300 military personnel of the Israelis, also police officers as well. After that, the Israelis managed to push them back into Gaza, and they invaded Gaza a few weeks after that, and ever since then there have been battles for the Gaza City, for Khan Younis, and Israel has been able to take those places, but they eventually withdrew from those places. Now they are going towards Rafah, and Rafah is basically the last stronghold of Hamas in Gaza. Now, obviously, there are some Hamas soldiers, you could say, still in probably Gaza City, still probably in Khan Younis, because they just travel over the tunnel, under the tunnels, or they're in civilian clothing, so the IDF cannot determine if they're Hamas or civilians. So there's all Hamas all around Gaza, but not as much as in Khan Younis. That's Rafah. That's like the last stronghold. And if that falls, yes, you may have some guerrilla warfare and counterinsurgency coming, continuing for months or maybe even years to come. But that is like the stronghold. Also, there are all Hamas leaders in Rafah, according to the intelligence, Israeli intelligence, that were personally behind the October 7th attack. Now, let's talk about what's happened in the past just a day and a couple hours. So, on May 5th, more than 10 rockets were launched from Rafah towards Kremen Shalom. I hope I'm saying that right. Killing 3 Israeli soldiers and wounding 11. So that's a pretty big attack for Hamas. Hamas took responsibility for the rocket attack. In response, the IDF carried out strikes in Rafah. An Egyptian source attributed the faltering of hostage negotiations to Hamas attack on Karim Shalom. Okay. Hope I'm saying that right. Okay, on May 6th, which is today, unless you live outside of the United States, on May 6th, which is today in the United States, the IDF initiated the evacuation of civilians from the eastern Rafah to expand humanitarian zone, including this area in Gaza over here and parts of Khan Younis and central Gaza. So basically, they all telling these civilians to leave. They all dropping pamphlets with their aircraft telling them to leave, telling them where to go. So let's look at the international response from this attack. This kind of launched, I'm not going to read all of it, but the United States, Israel's largest military supplier, supposedly did not approve of plans to invade. A Rafah offensive under the IDF plan became a supposed red line for the Biden administration, causing a supposed rift in U.S. And Israeli relations. Nonetheless, on March 29th, the Biden administration once again authorized the transfer of billions of dollars in bombs and fighter jets to Israel. So I believe what's going on here, Biden, obviously, ever since, even if you go back 30 plus years ago, he's always supported Israel. He's always been a supporter of Israel. So obviously, he's going to do so. Obviously, he wants to keep a good face on the global stage and say America's not pro the bombing of civilians, what you call innocent civilians, bombing innocent civilians in Gaza. So he's going to tell Israel to not to do this, not to do that in public, but behind closed doors. Obviously, there are some tense exchanges between Netanyahu and Biden, but behind closed doors, it's probably you probably have a more pro-American Biden being pro-Israel in this attack on Rafah or anything else they do. There have been actually very pro-Hamas, pro-Palestinian people who have said the exact same thing, that America behind closed doors is very pro-Israel compared to what they are saying on the global stage to keep a good name on the global stage. Basically, a lot of these people, what you're going to hear over and over and over again, ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire. And obviously, Israel has already said they're not doing that, so I do not know why these countries keep telling them to. At this point, they're literally just talking, because Israel already not going to do a ceasefire. They are going to finish what they started, or at least that's what it seems like they are going to do. So that's basically it. Right now we have what looks like to be the beginning of the Israeli invasion of Rafah. Obviously, we are going to see if Israel does end up attacking Rafah. We are going to see, I would say, a high number of Israeli casualties, IDF casualties among the personnel. I wouldn't say the vehicles like that, because Hamas doesn't really have what it takes to destroy a large amount of Israeli vehicles, but the personnel is going to be a deadly fight. But just going back to Israel and Khan Younis, Gaza City, I think Israel will be able to do it. However, they cannot be afraid of taking large losses, because likely that is what they are going to sustain in this operation. I'm not talking about tens of thousands of men, probably even a couple hundred, a few hundred, even 1,000 KIA and wounded. So this is going to be a pretty heavy operation. I believe Israel can do it. However, there are some risks in doing it on the international stage, the global stage, and with how many soldiers may have to pay the ultimate sacrifice to do so. Anyway, guys, if you guys like this video, if you found it informative, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, comment your thoughts down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.